Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I am Agam Vakil, and we have seen Nifty advance by as much as 50 points, marking the day and, well, the seventh straight day of gains as far as the benchmark indices are concerned. So strength coming in Nifty trying to inch towards the mark of 12,000, almost made it there even, but well, just falling short of that. Now we did have a lot of gains in Bharti Infratel, JSW Steel, Bajaj Finserv, Coal India, and Infosys. Of course, Infosys is something that we're going to address in today's segment right now. Zee Entertainment, on the other hand, declining by around 4% and showing a reversal after the kind of strength that we saw last Friday. Indian Oil Corp, Maruti Suzuki, Hero MotoCorp, and IndusInd Bank, of course, coming off. Hero MotoCorp specifically, along with Tata Motors, likely reacting to the October volumes, even though a lot of that has been priced in. Now, as far as the broader markets are concerned, we've already spoken to JSPL's management, and of course, that's the reason why we saw that sharp up move around 11%. Capri Global, Indian Overseas Bank, along with Indostar Capital, all advancing in trade. KNR Construction stands out. That's up 13% today. Heritage Foods also looking at a lot of traction. On the losing end, Dish TV India is declined by around 10% after gaining once again on Friday. So a reversal there. Ajanta Pharma is the other one, down 5.5%, along with Kerala Healthcare and V-Mart Retail, down 5% on, well, disappointing earnings. But on that note, let me get in our markets editor, Neeraj Shah, for his thoughts on the markets today. Neeraj, 5 straight days of gains. Are analysts out there expecting some amount of consolidation, if at all?
Yeah, well, actually, most of the guys today said that we skate, I mean, to use a specific term, skating on thin ice after such a strong move that we've already seen. Let's see, I mean, the earnings so far are proving okay, Agam. HDFC a case in point today as well.
Yeah.
And everybody's arguing about why the top line growth may or may not happen or margins are not happening. But hey, the bottom line is moving up, and that is helping. We've seen what's happened to the US markets for 1 year post the tax cuts happen and the impact thereof. So the going is good for the time being. Today we had a very interesting conversation with Gautam Shah of JM Financial, who looks at slightly long-term charts. And I believe that what may happen in the near term due to consolidation or otherwise is separate, but according to him, 13,000 on the Nifty in the near term is not ruled out. By near term doesn't mean next 1 month, but in the next 6 odd months, 13,000 is not ruled out. So there are equal proponents for going long as well. And if the broader market participation continues as it has here today as well, who knows?
Who knows? Right, fair enough. Neeraj, thanks for that.
Thanks, Agam. Good having you back, Agam.
Right, absolutely. Great to be back myself. But let's talk about a stock here where we had seen a lot of volatility, and that's Infosys. Well, as we all know, about a couple of weeks ago, there was a whistleblower case which, well, blew up and actually it resulted in a lot of weakness for Infosys. Well, the exchanges, that's the NSE and the BSE, had written to the company and had sought clarifications, and today we do have the company will respond to that letter. And in the response, the company has said that there has been no supporting evidence while these complaint letters were sent to the board and the US SEC. There was no joint, and the prima facie there isn't any evidence of the claims that were made in the allegations. However, the company is also suggesting that they are investigating the matter, and the audit committee, along with your Ernst & Young, that is their auditor, as well as their, of course, law firm Machan Mangaldas, they're all looking into it, and as and when we have more updates, they will notify the exchanges on the same. For now, we've seen a little bit of recovery as far as Infosys is concerned, that closed with gains of around 3%. But on that note, let's also get in Shefali Malik to talk to us about HDFC, where the numbers didn't look that bad, Shefali.
Well, the numbers were actually quite good, and the stock also reacted positively after the earnings.
Right.
So basically, net interest income was slightly below, but the profit was above expectations, and it was aided by a couple of factors. The dividend income that came in during this quarter, profit on sale of investments on account of the stake sale in Grah Finance, that aided their bottom line. And also, the tax expenses were low this time around. They came in to the tune of about 570 crores versus about 1,022, so almost half of the same quarter last year. So all that boosted the bottom line, and the NPAs as well were more or less manageable. The gross NPAs came in at about 1.33% versus about 1.29 on a sequential basis, and the NPAs in the individual portfolios remained stable during the quarter, and there was a slight inch up in NPAs in the non-individual portfolio, which is the developer portfolio basically. So So that went up to about 2.87% versus 2.68%. Margins as well remained stable, and the management said after the results that consciously they've slowed down in the non-individual segment, and the entire incremental loan growth that has happened in the quarter, 97% of that has been on account of individual loans. So HDFC looking strong and steady.
All right. Well, Shefali, thanks for those updates on HDFC Limited. And well, thereon we move on to two other stocks that have come on Sharad Dupe's radars today. Sharad, what are you tracking today?
Well, the first one being on the earnings, it's the consumer stock, Relaxo Footwear. The result was pretty good, and the number which you're looking at is the volume growth, which stood at almost 8%. If you see, it's pretty much good. And there's also a strong product mix which aided the margins. There's an expansion of almost 270 basis points, and going ahead, it came at almost 16.84%. Now, if you see if you use the FA function, we see how the revenues have been, panning out. We'll just get in for you the quarters. So in quarterly, we see the expansion of revenues happening on a yearly basis. It has actually increased. Sequentially, we have seen a kind of a cool off, but the net income, that is something which you should be watching out for. That has really expanded, and this has been really doing well over the at least 8 quarters. So that is something. Relaxo Footwear is something which you can see, and even the analysts did speak about the valuations. If you see the Bata's valuations and also Liberty Shoes valuation, they're pretty high as compared to Relaxo Footwears. And the next stock is Cadila Healthcare. That stock was down almost 5.4%. It ended the day today after it received a warning letter from US FDA for its Moraiya formulation facility. So this facility had earlier got audits from the French as well as the Brazilian authorities back in FY19. That is something which we will be watching out for. Now, if we see the technicals of this chart, if you can pan in over here, the stock nearly broke the 50 and 100-day moving average today itself, but it just ended the day above, at around 241.5 rupees, more than that critical level which it did breach today. So that is something which we will be watching out for both the stocks. Apart from this, welcome back.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Sharad. Those are the two other stocks that we are keeping an eye on as far as the mid-cap space is concerned. And those are just some of the areas that we are going to keep an eye on. There are plenty more earnings to keep an eye on as well. We're watching for Tech Mahindra and Titan, among others, in the Nifty 50, and of course Dabur as well, which is a non-indexed large cap, which will also announce earnings tomorrow. So that is what we have in store moving into the trade next few days. And on that note, it's a wrap on the markets, but there's lots more lineup. Stay tuned to BloombergQuint.